Have you seen any Alice which is not in gold or yellow? Ever since I bought this pair of earphones, I've been listening and thinking about how to give it a fair shake against other similarly priced earphones in the market. A lot of thoughts came into mind to the point that I was like, should I even refill it with multiple negative thoughts floating on top already? While waiting for certain patch update, I finally decided to write it down in a notepad, and yep, here we are. Fuck it, I paid good money for it and it is what it is. To give some context, I bought Moondrop Alice just out of curiosity at around 190 USD, while I already owned Moondrop Lego Kick and AKG N400NC, which were around 38 and 48 USD respectively, and I'm refilling under these specifications. Before starting on a lazy unboxing section with a handful of photos, let's kick off with those negative thoughts that keep circling around my head while listening to it. First of all, noise floor. It is really noticeable when comparing to the other two pairs of earphones mentioned above, and unfortunately, I'm really sensitive to those sizzling noise. Remember the good old days that I went all in and bought a specific lab to deal with Andromeda? Oh boy, the good old days. Also, curiously, there is no active noise cancellation function, not to even mention transparent mode. You tell me that your entry-grade Lego kit came with a usable ANC, but this supposedly flagship doesn't? Moondrop, come on. The final one may just be me being picky. I know the earpiece is built with solid plastic, and the shell came with extra leather protection case, but the size and material of the overall package though... With that all being said, the remaining part of the video is all about the pros of Alice, and here's a quick unboxing section before that. This is the cover. As a man of culture with years of experience in reading visual novels, I must say, this is a hard sell for normies. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. And this is a hard sell for rotten souls like it. So this is the back of the box, showing the default frequency response and some specification of Alice. This is the real box under the cover. What I see when I opened the box, the earphones and the charging case. It also came with a protection case and two types of ear tips, namely spring tips and transparent tips from soft ear. That's pretty much all of it. Now let's talk about the good things about Alice. First of all, comfort is actually not as bad as I thought it would be. Although the whole shell seems to be large, most of it is apparently outside of my ears, and the hook style wearing is rather secure for my ear shape. As for battery life, it lasts for a good 8 hours, and the charging case would carry another 40 hours for it. Kinda justifying size of the charging case, I guess. And finally, sound. It sounds good. Of course it sounds good, because it's technically a wireless Kato, right? No. Just no. While I can easily conclude the sound signature of Alice as putting Kato driver in a plastic shell and then drive it with a noisy dongle instead of fully juiced desktop amp with extremely black background, things go way deeper than that. When I listened to Alice for the first time, I was really confused because it sounds nothing like Kato. The tunings, dynamics, technicalities, and most importantly, the noise floor is just off the chart and boggling me even if I'm not playing any music. I was disappointed and left it on the table for several hours of burning. In the meantime, my potato brain starts to tinkle and I feel like forgetting about something. Something so important for wireless earphones, but I rarely use. Control apps. So afterwards, I downloaded Moondrop link and updated the firmware of Alice to 0.1.9. Not gonna lie, it sounds so much better, and I felt like I can finally spend some time listening to it. Now it sounds like what I've mentioned before, poorly drafted cattle in a plastic shell. Out of all tuning profiles, I found in-ear target suit my preference the best. A vocal is forward and things are reasonably balanced across the board. But there's nothing changed to the noise floor. It's still annoying, it's still there. Curiously, after a day or two, Moondrop released firmware version 1.2.0 for Alice, trying to reduce the noise floor. And it kinda works. While the noise floor is still noticeable when you're listening to music in a silent environment, at least you won't notice it when nothing's playing in the background. Oh, one more thing. VDSF Plus. This is an interesting function that you can activate by pressing the lab earphones for 5 seconds. To summarize how it sounds when it's on, basically everything sounds a little bit bigger and the boundary of sound inside the earphones becomes blurrier. You know how a single note inside a pair of good earphones can sound so focused? That focus is gone, kinda. In other words, you gain soundstage by sacrificing a part of imaging qualities. To conclude, will I recommend buying these? That's hard to say. Yes, if your audiophile setup is finished and all you want is a pair of good sounding wireless earphones. If you're not sensitive to noise floor at all, or you only use them outdoor. Or if you just want to try out how things gonna sound under VDSF function, then go on, by all means. Otherwise, I would rather use the same amount of money to buy these as a package, which should offer a much more enjoyable listening experience in general. I know this review sounds a little bit more than negative, but that's always a silver lining. To put it in context, the dynamic driver in Alice is extremely capable, and this is a pair of earphones with its sound quality directly correlated to its software. While the update of firmware is still on the road, it is pretty foreseeable that Moondrop will further optimize Alice in some way or another. Maybe it can truly be a wireless cattle after a patch or two, just finger crossed for it. That's all for the video. Thank you for watching. If you don't mind, leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And see you in next video. Bye.